These notes are on percent of change, and our essential question is, how do you compute percent of change? The reference for this is pages 314 to 317 in your book. The percent of change is the percent a quantity increases or decreases from its original amount. To find the percent of change, and it doesn't matter whether you're going to increase or decrease, the formula says the amount of change divided by the original amount. So, for example, if we were going to go from 100 to 114% increase. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to subtract the two numbers. And this is back to traditional subtraction where the big number goes on top. So we would subtract 114 minus 100. And that would leave us with 14 as the difference. The difference would be placed as the numerator. And the original price would be placed as the denominator. So that's $100 or whatever it is that your 100 points or whatever it is. But then you would divide the numerator by the denominator. So let's move over here and take a look at this. So 100 into 14, and we know that 100 can't go into 14, so we would have to add a decimal point and a 0, just like you would do any time that you're doing that. So it'd be 100 into 14 would be 1. One would go into 100 go into 140 one time, and then 4 would go into then we'd add another 0 to get 400, and so and it would go in 4 times. So we'd be having an increase of 14%. Then we'd convert that decimal into a percentage by moving the decimal points 2 spaces to the right, and it would become 14% increase. This works the same even if you're going to do a decrease. So let's just do a decrease of 12 to 10. So we would subtract the two numbers, and 12 minus 10 would be 2. And then we're going from 12, and we always use the number that we're going from as the original, and we would divide 2 by 12. As you can see, this is going to begin to repeat. So if we're going to look at the percentage, we could stop right here and we know basically this would be 17%, because we're going to add this and then we'll do that 6 again. So that would tell us to round this to 17%. So it would basically be a 17% decrease. All right, let's check your understanding. And on page 316, 1 through 6, you started with number 1 going from 30 to 39. So you would have divided 9 by 30 to find out that was a 30% increase. In number 2, you went from 55 to 176. So you would have divided 121 by 55 to find out that was a 220% increase. In number 3, you went from 48 to 60. So you would have divided 12 by 48 to find out that you had a 25% increase. And in number 4, you went the opposite way from 60 to 48, And so you would have divided 12 by 60 to find out that you had a 20% decrease. In number 5, you went from 96 to 78, and you would have found that you had an 18 and 75/100% decrease. And in number 6, from 240 to 90, so you would have divided 130 by 90, by 240 to find out that you had a 62 and 5/10% decrease. This should be fairly simple, but if you have any confusion, please come see me tomorrow in class. See you then.